Shalom, all praises to Yahweh, Bashem El Shai, Bashem El Rakal Kadash. Double honors unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone all rule well. And shalom to the whole four let. This is Payal of the GMS London camp, and it's an impromptu video dealing with International Women's Day. Right, it actually took place yesterday, even better yet, maybe even 2 days ago, as of right now. But I wanted to touch on it because I grew irritated, greatly irritated by all the rhetoric out there about International Women's Day. And one of the main takeaways was even this whole thing that is the whole debacle dealing with Meghan Markle right now. And I'm like, the analysts that they always have on TV, especially over in the UK, there's no black men that they ever bring on any TV shows ever. Never ever do they do that. And it's I'm greatly, immensely irritated by seeing all of these bloody black women on TV talking on behalf of black people, when really it's talking from the perspective as a black woman, because that's what they always talk as a black, as being a someone of black background and a woman at that. They always make a distinction that they're black women, and it just goes to show they're not with us. All right, they're fighting their own battle. They want a piece of the cake, and that's why even the whole thing with Meghan Markle, funny enough, taking place on International Women's Day, was it roused them up, man. Had them going, and they were basically all talking about the racism in the UK, and man, I'm just looking at it like, I'll get into the scriptures, but that whole thing with her, she wanted to be a princess, man. That's really it. She wanted to be a princess in this world, and she knew what was set before her. Harry outlined it, and even the color of the baby thing was prior to the whole her even marrying him. And better yet, she was actually seeing Piers Morgan, another TV personality over in the UK, prior to she met Harry, and then she aired him after that, man. Ghosted him and didn't talk to him ever again. So it shows you that she was fully invested. She wanted that. And the point being, the reason why I'm mentioning all of this is because these women want their portion in this world. All right, remember Lot's wife. But let me quickly I'm just gonna go out in the spirit and just read some excerpts and see what we get. So let's go here first. So International Women's Day, March 8th, 2021. Choose the challenge. All right. And you silly black women, stupid, silly black women that are going to, fight your own battle as a woman. Black, so-called black people, all right, so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans, we're fucked up all together. But you want to run off and fight your own battle. Who you fight? Who are you fighting against as a woman? Are you fighting against? They've given you the boogeyman of fighting against men. But really, it's prophetic, man. It's prophecies, which let me read it now, man. Get straight to the point. Sorry, this is Jeremiah 31:22. This is how long wilt thou go about, O thou backsliding, you backsliding daughter? For the Lord Yahweh created a new thing in the earth. Right, so this is for you so-called daughters of Zion. Alright, you so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans. How long will you go about backsliding daughter? For the Lord will create a new thing in the earth. A woman shall compass a man. And that's what's happened. They've compassed men. Alright? And that's why you've had a big explosion, should I say, of Red Pill, MGTOW and all this stuff. Kevin Samuels, Alpha Male Strategies, and the various different personalities on the YouTube. The reason why you have that is down to what? It's really basically down to slut. It's really basically down to women compassing men. Men are growing frustrated. They've been silenced, and they got, for the sake of getting some bucks, basically, they've been, choosing their words carefully when dealing with women. And if you don't, you ain't gonna get no bucks. That's how it goes, man. Unless you're finessing it, Well, that's only what you're doing. You are finessing. So let me, I'm just gonna read this part here, then I'm gonna go into the wiki. So International Women's Day is powered by the collective efforts of all collective action and shared ownership for driving gender parity is what makes International Women's Day impactful. Gloria Steinem, world-renowned feminist, journalist and activist, once explained the story of women's struggle for equality belongs to no single feminist nor to any one organization. Let me just one moment. Too fucking Joyce. Salakia, man. So let me read this, man. Read it again. So International Women's Day is powered by the collective efforts of all collective action and shared ownership for driving gender parity is what makes International Women's Day impactful. Gloria Steinem, which sounds like a so-called Jew, Amalekite, world-renowned feminist, journalist and activist, once explained the story of women's struggle for equality belongs to no single feminist nor to any one organization, but the collective efforts of all who care about human rights. So make International Women's Day your day, and do what you can to truly make a positive difference for women. Alright, so that's what they're saying. And no, we ain't equal, bitch. Alright? We ain't the same. You were made for our sake. You get that very quick. Let me read this, because this was established by the Most High. So it says Genesis 3:16. It says, unto the woman he said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow and thy conception. In sorrow thou shalt bring forth children, and thy desire shall be to thy husband, and he shall rule over thee. Alright? So that's prophecy that the Heavenly Father put in place, that the women, alright, would basically have when they give birth, they'd have birth pains, basically, and then also that their husband shall rule over them. Alright. So let me read this. So it's 1 Corinthians 11:3. So it says, "But I would have you know that the head of every man is Yahweh Shai, Hamashiach." So, Hamashiach, the anointed, which is Yahweh Shai, and the head of the woman is the man, and the head of Hamashiach is Yahweh. So that's the order. You have the Heavenly Father, then you have Yahweh Shai, our Lord, then you have man, then you have his woman, and then obviously the children fall underneath that. That's the order of things. There is no equality in that, alright? We ain't equal to the Lord, alright? The Lord ain't equal to the Most High, so what makes women think they're going to be equal to men? It's not happening, alright? Verse 8, "For the man is not of the woman, but the woman of the man. Neither was a man created for the woman, but a woman for the man." Yeah, she was made for the man. And that's why when you read it in Genesis 2, what happened? It's here. So it says, this the whole basis, Genesis 2:20. "And Adam gave names to all cattle, and to the fowl of the air, and to every beast of the field. But for Adam there was not found an help meet for him." Alright? So he didn't have no help. A help meet unto him. Right? So this is what's happened. "And the Lord Yahweh, the Lord power Yahweh, caused a deep sleep to fall upon Adam, and he slept, and he took one of his ribs and clothed with flesh instead thereof." Right? When he said rib, was talking about family. Right? This is Genesis 29:14. I'm gonna get straight to the point. Actually 13:14. "And it came to pass when Laban heard the tidings of Jacob his sister's son, that he ran to meet him and embraced him and kissed him, and brought him to his house, and he told Laban all these things." Alright? "And Laban said unto him, Surely thou art my bone and my flesh. And he abode with him the space of a month." Alright? And that's why did that happen? Because they were kindred. They shared the same lineage, basically. So this is what it's talking about, saying that basically Eve was of near kindred unto him. Alright? So reading on, it says verse 22, reading on, "And the rib which the Lord power Yahweh had taken from man, made he a woman, and brought her unto the man. And Adam said, This is now bone of my bones, flesh of my flesh." See, same thing. "She shall be called woman, because she was taken out of man." Alright? So that shows you that what? The woman belongs unto man. Right? Because she was taken out of man. She was made for the purpose of man. "Therefore shall a man leave his father and his mother, and shall cleave unto his wife, and they shall be one flesh." So they come together and make one flesh. Alright? But really she's joining onto the flesh of the man. Alright? Because a man can have multiple women join onto his flesh, but a woman can't join into multiple men's flesh. That will be confusion. Alright? She'll be bugged out. That's why you got all these women running around bugged out, screaming in the International Women's Day. Because of that. "Therefore shall a man leave his father and his mother, and shall cleave unto his father, and they shall be one flesh. They were both naked, and the man and his wife, and were not ashamed." Right? So now let's get back to this. Let's read a bit on this. So that shows you we ain't equal. Alright? So I'm just gonna keep it to the point, but I don't want to delve too far into it. So IWD, short for International Women's Day, originated from labor movements in North America and Europe during the early 20th century. The earliest version was purportedly a Women's Day organized by the Socialist Party of America in New York City, February 28th, 1909. This inspired German delegates at the 1910 International Socialist Women's Conference to propose a special Women's Day by organizing annually, albeit with no set date. Following year saw the first demonstrations and commemorations of International Women's Day across Europe. After women gained suffrage in Soviet Russia in 1917, the beginning of the February Revolution, IWD was made a national holiday on March 8th. Alright, it was subsequently celebrated on that date by the socialist movement and communist countries. The holiday is funny to know that it's of a socialist origin, man. Alright, but it says the holiday was associated with far left movements and governments until its adoption by the global feminist movement in the late 1960s. IWD became mainstream global holiday following its adoption by the United Nations in 1977. All right. So it says International Women's Day is commemorated in a variety of ways worldwide. It is a public holiday in several countries and observed socially and in or locally in others. The EU observes the holiday in connection with a particular issue, campaign, or theme in women's rights. And mind you, Meghan Markle was at the helm of that yesterday, or the day before yesterday. In some parts of the world, IWD still reflects its political origins, being marked by protests and calls for radical change. In other countries, particularly in the West, it is largely social, cultural, and centered on a celebration of womanhood. All right. So let's see some news. Okay, let's read this. Let's go through some pictures. Let me chill, man. Let me chill. Let's get this flag. International Women's Day around the world in pictures. Okay. So here's some of the BS you gotta deal with. If you have daughters in this world, this is saying you now have to, rub out of their mind, man. Right? Near kindred, sisters, alright? Stuff like that. Whoever, really mainly daughters I'm gonna harp on. Because your sister, if you have a sister, she have a husband or whatnot, right? Or she's underneath her parents or whatnot. So the main thing you can see here is that prophecy has been fulfilled. And they actually look like what I was gonna say, man. But let me chill, man. So the main thing you could take from this is that this is an international affair. There ain't a place. They got our sisters down there, our demonic sisters down there in Mexico. They're joining in, alright? Down there in Jakarta, Indonesia. These are Muslim women with hijabs. And they're protesting for women's rights, right? Wow. An all-female unit has been dispatched. So that's Southeast London. Yeah. They need all them officers for that one guy, man, in that estate. over there in South Paris, Nepal. So that's being the main point. No matter what belief system is held in any of these countries, all these countries are celebrating what? International Women's Day, which really shows you the prophecy in Jeremiah and this demon right here, man, Kamala Harris. And you niggas, man, man, the way I hate you, I can't even express my anger towards you, man. I just don't like you niggas, man. I really don't. You rub me the wrong way. Because the people you uphold and the double standards and all this madness that you stick to, it stirs my spirit a certain way that I do not like. So it's crowd call. So yeah, as I said, this is all over the world, man. There ain't a place on earth ain't touching. It's touching everyone. Alright? So let me get back to so let me read that prophecy one more time. So this is Jeremiah 31 and 22. It says, how long wilt thou go about, thou backsliding daughter? For the Lord have created a new thing in the earth. A woman should compass a man. Yeah, so a woman's compass a man. I broke it down already. But now what we're moving towards is we're moving towards the tipping of the scale. All right? Order is about to be implemented. All right? You've even seen over here in the UK, you've seen the dynamic changing, where women really are starting to understand they need a man in these times, all right? But that doesn't mean every woman thinks that now. It's just certain women, there's been, the light bulb is switched on, basically. But like I said, it's only for the women it's for. Normally, it only matters if it's in righteousness towards what I'm going to read into. So let me read this. So it says Isaiah 13 and 12. So it says, I'll make a man more precious than fine gold, even a man than a golden wedge of Ophir. I wasn't even meant to read it, but I read it. But yeah, that's what's being magnified. The men of the elect are ultimately going to be magnified, and no women can pass him. The only way they can pass him is in this sense, Isaiah 4 and 1. And in that day, 7 women shall take hold of one man. So the number 7, according to biblical, quote unquote, biblical numerology, right? The numbers they represent, 7 represents perfection. So the perfect amount of women shall take hold of that one man, saying, we will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. Only let us be called by thy name to take away our reproach. All right? So that's what's going to happen. Because it tells you this Isaiah 32 and 2. It says, a man shall be as an hiding place from the wind, and a covert from the tempest, as rivers of water in a dry place, as a shadow of a great rock in a weary land. And that's what's going to happen, because we're heading into a time that has never been presented upon this earth, right? The time, the hour of temptation, the time of Jacob's trouble. So that's why, going back to Isaiah 4 and 1, this is going to be so relevant. So it says, and in that day 7 women shall take hold of one man. So 7 women are going to, the perfect amount are going to go into one man. Because remember, we're going to have replenish the earth after everything happens. The destruction comes, Yahweh Shai's return. Reading on, it says, we will eat our own up. They're saying they're going to make their own food. We'll eat our own bread. We'll wear our own apparel. We'll wear our own clothes. We'll take care of our own damn selves. Only let us be called by thy name to take away our reproach. So if they have any form of hassle, please let me be joined onto your name to remove. We won't be any burden unto you, but we just want to be called by your name to be able to take away any of our reproach. Because as I said, that man as a wedge of gold and Ophir is going to be a hiding from as a hiding from the wind, man. Alright? But then you women that this ain't for, man, you got one thing coming for you, man. So it's Micah 7 and 10. It says, then she that is mine enemy shall see it, and shame shall cover her, which said unto me, where is the Lord thy power? Yeah, because not every woman's going to be saying, show great humility as to be wanting to be joined unto a man of the Lord's name. You can have some women that are going to hold on to the fact that they've come past men and have lived in that for so long in this world. Remember Lot's wife, alright? That they basically won't be able to turn away from that onto the world to come, but will look back onto the world that was. And that's why says what it says, Micah 7 and 10. Then she that is mine enemy, why is she our enemy? Because she's against the truth, alright? She's against the natural order of things. She wants to compass men where that is not right, that isn't a rightful place. And all that's doing is sowing confusion and contention in the natural order of things. Like I said at the beginning of this video, the main thing that really roused me up to do this is the fact that these fucking black bitches talking all this shit online, man, and it's really irritating. Okay, because they're not in unison with with the you know their men, alright? Really Israel, alright? But that's, like I said, it's prophecy, okay? But the main thing is they're our enemies. Then she that is my enemy, shame shall enemy shall see it, and shame shall cover her, which said unto me, where is the Lord Yahweh thy power? Alright, and that's what she basically said. She basically saying, where's our and some women will literally say that, mine eyes shall behold her, now she shall be trodden down in as the mire of the streets. Okay? And that's only what's gonna happen to her. The day of judgment is gonna come where she's gonna be trodden down as mire in the streets. Alright? So that's more or less it. I'm gonna wrap it up on that. But as you can see, this is an international affair. That's why it's called IWD, International Women's Day. And it's reached everywhere it can reach. Even Russia. Alright? So with that, man, I pray you're edified. Till the next one, I say shalom.